Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Angel R Talk, and you are listening to the Not Just NYC Talking podcast.
The city of New York, Boricua from the Bronx.
I'm gonna cut right to the chase, man. I'm talking to my man Keon Torres. What up, Keon?
What up, brother? How's everything?
Chilling, man. This right here is the hardest working motherfucker in this industry business that I know. Like on a personal level that I know. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there working hard. You know what I'm saying? There's people grinding, but dude, your hustle, man, is fucking impeccable, bro.
Yo,
And
I
I've
truly
told you this shit
appreciate that.
before. I've told you this before. Your fucking hustle, shit, man. So what's going on, bro?
Oh man, just getting this podcast. Like, I have my own podcast, Kush Chat, which I drop every Thursday. And yeah, I've been really focused on that since the pandemic started, because, everything was closed at the time, like, a bunch of acting sets, I can't really perform anywhere or even go to the recording studio since everything was like fucking closed. So, I was like, you know what, let me invest in a mic and a pop filter and let me just like do my own podcast. I know a bunch of artists and actors and all that. And I was like, let me just get into this. Let me just talk to people while smoking. I'm like, look, I'm not just gonna, the reason why I called it Kush Chat, because I was like, yo.
I saw the name. I knew. I knew.
I was like, I smoke weed every day and I just don't want to sit on my ass just smoking weed while staying at home during quarantine and the shutdown going on. So I was like, you know what? Let me put use of me smoking weed and make it a brand. So
How can I incorporate this smoking weed shit that I do every fucking day into something productive? Kush Chat.
Exactly. And that's what I did. And I was like, let me just fucking talk to people I know that are in like the entertainment business. But I expanded it. So now I don't just talk to like artists and actors. I also started talking to politicians and as well as like personal trainers, like people who are like really making sure the community is getting better than it was once before.
That's what's up, man. And I told you this, man. I hadn't been active for a minute on the podcast, man. And every Thursday, Kush Chat, every fucking Thursday, like clockwork, consistent. I said, man, me and you were talking about doing podcasts before, and you're doing your thing. And I was like, yo, I gotta fucking get on my game, man. Like I gotta do my shit. Like what excuse do I have? We're fucking locked up.
Yeah, exactly.
We're locked up. It's exactly like you're saying. We're quarantined. You know what? So, let me ask you this. You release them every week, right?
Yeah.
Do you prefer to do that? You find that's better? Because I've been recording them. As soon as I'm done editing, I drop them. Why did you choose the weekly as opposed to just?
The reason why I chose the weekly, because I've been a fan of podcasts like forever. I've been listening to podcasts since I was in fucking 8th grade. And this is before podcasts became popular. And I used to just listen to like pro wrestling podcasts. Okay. And I noticed, from like the different wrestling podcast shows, they always drop it on the same day, like weekly. So I was like, let me stick to that formula because those people who have done that has been like consistent. And like now podcasters now that are known, like, well, Joe Rogan, I believe he drops one like every fucking day almost.
Yeah, that guy, that looks like that's his fucking primary, that's his thing, that's his primary thing.
And then there's Joe Budden also from the hip hop podcast community. He drops it every Tuesday and Saturday. And I liked his formula and he stayed consistent with it. So I was like, let me try that formula. Let me just drop one every Thursday and just see what happens. And my numbers just been like growing and growing. I'm like gathering like a whole new audience that I'm not like used to. Like I'm used to like, my music audience. And then, I'm starting to get like audience from my acting shit, but like the podcast audience is like a whole different audience. And it's just really cool to expand like my brand from not just like one thing and just like be a Renaissance man and just like grow it and not stick to one fucking thing.
Well, that goes in line with what I said in the very beginning, the fucking hustle, man. You've been doing. Somebody posted a clip of you in Power, I think it's called Power TV.
Yeah.
I saw that shit and I was trying to do the face. I was like, I was trying to emulate the face in that clip, like as the dude was driving by and shit, So you're doing that, you got your music, which is how we met at Inspired Word. You were always like one of the high energy cats in there, just just going in. And even when I would perform, you would be one of the people who would help me out by being a part of the song, like "Dear Mama," or whatever. You would kind of like do the chorus and stuff. People remember that shit, man. It helps. Like
No, it
people.
definitely does. Like crowd participation is the most important thing when it comes to performing. And it's just, have a good time. It's not, if you're performing up there and I see you performing, you want the crowd to react. Like, I know that feeling. Like, I love when the crowd reacts. So of course I'm going to get into it. And you were like passionate when you was performing that song. And I was like, I love his passion. Let me get into this. And then everybody else started to get into it, because it only takes one person from the crowd. Once they start getting, exactly, to set it off, get into it. And then everybody else starts like following and just get into it. And there's just one big, beautiful, like, amount of energy from everybody just zooming into your performance.
Yeah, man, that shit, it's happened a few times, man. And, I always appreciated when you did that, at the events. It pumps you up. It gets you more into it,
Exactly.
It happened once at a Capicucho. I almost cried that time, man. That shit it was fucking art, man. It was art, because I was doing a song I wrote for my mom, which is the Dear Mama song, which is for me very heavy.
Yeah.
And everybody was doing the Dear Mama, and I was up there like, oh, this is fucking awesome, like this shit is dope, man. That performing stuff is a great outlet, man. It's such
It
an
definitely
outlet.
is.
Yeah, my son wrote a song, man, a couple days ago. He wrote
no fucking way.
song.
Oh shit.
So Logic, you familiar with Logic? This is like
yeah.
So he drops some beats, and my son's a big fan of Logic, and he came up with a pretty dope rhyme and recorded it himself in the room with the with the mic, and just did the layers and shit. I'm like, oh shit, man,
Yo, that's fucking awesome.
Doing some shit too, man. But if you listen to his lyrics, it's got meaning. It's a form of expression. It's that's a big thing. That primarily all my stuff was originally poetry. Everything I wrote was pretty much started off as poems, and somewhere along the line, I wanted to put it to music, And I mean, some people got like you, Charlie Scott, so LAV. I don't know if you ever met LAV. I was talking.
I know him.
I was talking with this cat a couple of days ago. The cadence of his talking voice, it's like rap. He's just talking to me, just talking, and it fucking the cadence of his talk. It sounds like he was meant for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and then you got a motherfucker like me. I don't think I'm meant for that shit. Like I'm fucking. I don't think I fit the mold. Like I never. I'd go to places. Sometimes I'd show up at spots. I went to this place called Brooklyn. I think it was called Brooklyn Nights. Like somewhere in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
When I went up there, everybody was just like, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I didn't know where I was going. I showed up to this event, and it was in the projects. And I rolled up with with some shit like this, like, hi guys, and I walked in there and I was like, everybody was just like straight up like looking at me, and I was like, yo, I have got to do the hardest shit I got, or I'm gonna fucking die today, And I did a song called They Say You Need an Image. They say I need an image. My image is no good. They say I need an image, but I won't pretend for you. I chose that song, and I did that one, and I did this other one I got called rat-a-tat-tat-tat, when his motherfucking gun went and shot him dead, and he did it just for fun. That boy took a life, and he did it just for sport. Now he's evading Uncle Sam because they got him on the run, like some hard shit.
Shit.
And they all just. They gave me my props, man. Like, at the end of it, but I was like, yo, this is do or die. Because again, fucking look at me, bro. Like I walked into like, like like I'm thinking I'm walking into like some Williamsburg shit. Cause it's Brooklyn. So
yeah.
I dressed accordingly. I thought I was going like into like a hipster spot. And I walked in there and it's like, it's all black dudes and Boricuas and Dominicans. I mean, my people, but that wasn't what I was expecting. So I didn't dress in a format to blend in. I stood out with these fucking bright fucking colors and shit. It's fucking nuts, man. But by the end of it, everybody was like, they were like giving me pound, like, yo, man, we thought we were gonna have to throw you out of here. Like they were, a lot of the guys, we thought we were gonna have to drag your ass out of here, take you in the back and beat your ass for, come out with some folklore shit, but you came hard, bro.
Shit.
That was crazy, man.
I love performing at hood spots. Like, they always show love, especially when they see like how passionate and like how much drive you have, and like they respect that shit.
I
So
think
hood spots are dope.
yeah, I was just expecting Williamsburg, like fucking
Yeah.
Blanquitos. So I dressed like, like to not scare them. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
dressed
Nah, I
in a way
feel
where,
you.
and then I walked in there and I was like, oh shit, man. They probably think I'm like a fucking school shooter or something. Oh shit. But that was the whole thing. Like I don't think I have the image, the voice, even like my appearance nowadays. Maybe 20 years ago, like I could have probably, done more with that. But it's still an outlet. I made it into music and I performed it and stuff. And I don't know where the fuck I was going with this, bro. I kind of lost myself in the story. I started with this story and I just lost my whole fucking train of thought. But I think it started from it's an outlet. It's always been an outlet. Poetry. As a matter of fact, it kept me from killing myself when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
I had a guy on recently that was my counselor when I was a kid. And what I
Yeah.
used to do, I'd show up, read my poetry to him, and we would talk about it and analyze it. Because I was like, I was on some fucked up shit when I was a kid, suicidal and all that shit. So this fucking, well, I say music, but back then it's always been poetry. I listened to you and Danny, right? You guys
Yeah.
did the podcast, and Mato said, I don't call myself a hip hop artist. I don't call myself a poet. I call myself a writer. And that shit rung a bell with me, man. When you guys were talking about that, and I changed all my profiles and I put writer. And I
No.
told him that. Because that shit that's what we are.
No, exactly. And that's how I kind of feel too. I don't say writer, I say I'm a creator. Yeah, like
that's
I'm not
actually
just
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not just a
Creator.
hip hop artist. I'm not just an actor. I'm not just a podcaster. I'm just a creator. Like I just love creating shit. 'Cause like who knows what I'm gonna do in the next 5 to 10 years? Maybe I want to dabble into directing. Maybe I want to dabble into filmmaking. And just who knows? Like maybe I want to fucking get into politics, be the first pothead in fucking Congress. Like who fucking knows? Smoking a blunt in fucking Mitch McConnell's face. Like, hey, you're gonna do this shit. You're gonna fucking give everybody the extended unemployment while I smoke this fucking blunt in your fucking face.
I hate that fucking guy, bro.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking turd.
Yo, I can't stand that guy, man. I tell you.
Oh man, I feel bad for his wife. I always said I don't even think if he paid for fucking escort, even the escort wouldn't take his money to sleep with him.
Yo,
He looks like he's related to fucking Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
You seen the commercials and they compare him to like a turtle? That shit is fucking epic. He looks like a fucking turtle. I can't stand that guy. And I tell you that I know a lot of Republican people and stuff, and I can get along with them, man. You know what I'm saying?
Same here. I have a bunch of Republican friends. So I can relate. Yeah.
We should be able to. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to just be able to talk and But I don't know if I could do that with McConnell, man. I think I got too much animosity towards that guy. You know what I mean? And Trump is another one. I don't know if I could do that shit with. Like I got too much animosity towards those cats. I don't know if I could, like I could be boys with them and shit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. But the way I feel right now, I got a lot of animosity towards those motherfuckers.
It's crazy. It's funny. I was watching like Stormy Daniels talk about Trump. And that shit was just fucking hilarious. How she described like his penis and shit. And I was like, yo,
that's hard, man. That's that's kind of hard, man. Cause I'm gonna be real with you, man. I never had a woman complain about my fucking penis before, but one girl, all it takes is like that one person to try to put your shit down. Yo, that shit fucking scars you, man. It fucking fucks with your head. Like you start to like doubt yourself and shit. Like, fuck, man, that fucked me up, man. She I'm like, yo, I've always been good. I never had a girl complain. I always satisfy them. And then one time, one girl's and it was spiteful. She was doing it out of spite because I was leaving her.
Okay.
Like I was leaving this chick because she was off her rocker. She was really violent, and I was like, yo, she's attacking me. And, all I need is for this to escalate. And then they'll say I hit her, I did something. Never put my hands on her, never hit a woman. But she would attack me and fucking I'm covering up. Now,
oh, man.
you know, if you hit someone and they cover up and you hit them, you're gonna get hurt too.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
especially if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And it's a petite woman hitting my big clunky ass, and I'm just covering myself, and she would hurt her hands trying to beat my ass, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna end up getting locked up, and I'm not even doing anything.
That's
You
just
know,
how it is. Yeah, man.
so I fucking I waited. I waited for her to go to work, and on her, like on the low, I took a day off. I went and got an apartment. I waited for her to go to work, another day off on the low, and I moved out. So when she
Shit.
came back home, I was gone because I knew there's no way for me to leave peacefully. She will attack me. And that's when she started going after my dick, bro. She started like dissing my, she started, you got a little dick, you come fast, and she
Well,
was going
she was just screaming like outside, like to the whole neighborhood and shit.
on the phone. She was
Oh,
telling me
okay.
these things.
Oh
She's like, you
man.
son of a bitch, you little dick motherfucker, you come fast, you never satisfy me. And I'm like, then why don't you want me to leave? Why do you want me to stay? Like you can get yourself a big dick motherfucker that'll make you come 100 times and last 3 hours. Why do you want me to stay? Silence. Yeah, you little dick. I'm like, I knew it was trying to hurt me. Like it was
Yeah,
spiteful.
yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, as men, that's our soft spot. You know, and you start fucking doubting yourself and shit. I was kind of like, shit.
You should have just been like, yo, you need a big one, like.
I thought about that, man, but I just couldn't respond that way. I just let her abuse me and I just took it. You know what I mean? Like I
Man,
just
that's
took it.
crazy.
I
That's
just took it.
crazy.
I couldn't get myself to retaliate. In my mind, I was like, this is a hurt person and she's trying to get that hurt out. And I don't know what happened to her in her life. You know what I mean? Um, I'll help you heal by
Mm.
absorbing your shit. It's kind of how I thought. Years later, she called me and she apologized. She said,
Oh wow.
"Listen, yeah, man." She called me up and she's like, "Listen, Angel, you know all that stuff I said about your dick? I'm sorry. I was in a really bad place. Oh, it was a really bad time for me, and you were leaving me, and you were like one of the constants, and I had to hit you where it hurts." And I'm like, hey, it's what it is. She's like, you didn't take that personally, did you? I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. I kind of did, but you never said anything. I was being your punching bag. I was helping you fucking get to this point where you're at today.
Oh man, that's so crazy. But that goes to show you the growth and maturity of people. Like, you can beef with somebody over some dumb shit like when you're young, and then eventually you get older and you just like, fuck it. Like, why the fuck we were beefing over that shit in the first place? It's stupid.
Yeah. I think had I retaliated, she would have never come around. She would have stayed hateful and shit. But I just absorbed it, man. I just took it, and you know. But then I
You
was
took
like, I went and like I got to make sure my dick works, man. So I started banging, hooking up with other girls, making sure, I still got that staying power because she was making me doubt myself, man. So I had to make sure that I'm good, So I was like, let me make sure I'm good on this, man.
But even with that, sometimes though, like I listen to Mike Tyson's podcast. It's really good. I
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend for you to check it out.
Fucking love it, man. I
And
love it.
yeah, and I remember him saying like, yeah, even though he fucked like a mad like girls and shit, he said it felt like it drained the shit out of him. It just took all his energy from banging one chick after the next until finally he ended up with his wife and he felt like a whole man again. And when
Mm.
I heard that, like I can definitely like relate to that. Like to me, I'm a one woman man. Like I'm cool with just sticking with one woman because like these women out here are fucking crazy and they're just so self-absorbed and they just don't give a fuck about nothing but themselves. Especially now with the whole social media, all they care about is like Instagram and TikTok and becoming an influencer and all that bullshit.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's just
I think
especially
society as a whole is like
it,
that nowadays,
yeah,
Like,
it definitely is society as a whole, which is very scary and very sad, especially the times we live in now. And hopefully we evolve like from that as human beings and just realize the importance of life because life is just too short for all this fucking bullshit that's going on, whatever the fuck it could be. And it's just
word.
we just gotta like take life one day at a time. Just enjoy it to the fullest, live in the moment, plan for the future, and just fucking keep going instead of just trying to fucking worrying about, oh my God, I need to post the next TikTok or Instagram posts. Like, people are just so absorbed in that like matrix. You get what I'm saying, bro?
Oh yeah, I'm one of the motherfuckers that's been sucked in that shit. And I just watched a movie with my son called The Social Dilemma. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. I heard about it.
Yo, even though I know what the fuck is happening, I'm still in them. You know what I mean? Like, you're still like, oh, you know, and
It's a
being
dopamine.
Yo, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
knowing it, you could kind of say, nah, you're trying to push my buttons right now. I know what the fuck you're doing, algorithm, and I'll keep scrolling. I keep scrolling. You know, like I try to not respond as much as I used to, you know, and I've gotten good, you know, but I could see it, you know, like I always knew it. Even before I saw the movie, I would see a post and I'm like, these guys are trying to manipulate me. That's what they do, manipulate my emotions. But the thing with me is that I have people on the left and people on the right. So my social media is very it's very diverse. So the algorithm don't know what the fuck to do. Oh yeah, I want to provoke him on the race stuff, but I also want to provoke him on the guns. But which side? Because my shit is diverse. You know, and I don't respond as often as I used to. I've gotten better with that, man. And you're pretty fucking good with that. I notice you often say that shit a lot. Yo, when I get fucking millionaire, I'm fucking out of here. I'm off social media and all that.
Yeah.
I see you say that.
Yeah, I just want to lay on the grass, bro. That's my dream. Just lay on the grass somewhere and just not fucking care and just have somebody work my shit when I have to promote something. That's my dream goal. Because social media is just because I love the outdoors. Like, even before social media was a thing, I just loved always being like outside in like fucking nature, just enjoying the fucking breeze hitting my fucking face and not worrying about like any bullshit. And same thing with social media. When somebody tries to argue on social media about any fucking thing, my best response is just put a fucking GIF. Just, you know, those GIFs. Don't even argue back. Just put a GIF, like, of whatever they're fucking saying, and that just fucks with them even more. And it's hilarious. Social media is just a fucking joke to me. That's why I don't take it serious, and that's why I post whatever the fuck I want. And like I said, the only reason why I'm on it is because I have to promote like my brand and shit. But other than that, once I make it up to a certain financial caliber where I don't have to worry about promoting shit myself, I'm fucking off that shit. Like, it's just making somebody else's money. Like, we're making Mark Zuckerberg more money than he's fucking making already.
Yeah, we're the product.
Exactly. Even though you should look into this. We should get paid for our data. Andrew Yang always talks about that all of us, from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media platform you have, Twitter, we should get paid for our fucking data, because they're using all our data for them they're generating billions of dollars off our fucking data. And we should get like either paid for our data or give us a fucking stock.
Well, true. Especially if you're like a big one in there, you know, like one of the people that's really like really, you know, but their logic is we're giving you this for free, you know, so you're giving, the way you pay us to let you use it for free is by giving us your fucking data and fucking your mind, almost, like, because the shit they fucking, they're in your head. You know,
but I bet you if we all boycotted and said no, we're not fucking logging into our accounts, watch them start fucking paying us like, hey, we'll give you this, or, you know, they'll give us like whatever bullshit just to lure us back in. So, you know, an empire
Yelp used to do that just shit
like this.
Oh yeah. Yelp used to do that. Yelp used to take us to events. I used to go to a lot of events for free. I used to go to restaurants for free. Every time a new spot came out, I would be invited there. And I still get those on occasion from my website, but not as much as I did with Yelp, you know. And then I got sucked into the fights, and I started fighting with people, and, you know, it kind of hurt my standing, you know, and fucked me up. I fucked up on that, man, because I used to have fun. I used to have fun with the Yelp people. It's just there's a lot of little cliquey shit and drama and stuff. And, you know, you come from the ghetto and you got some fucking well-off motherfucker trying to put you down. It's hard, man. It's hard to accept, like, some fucking person who their parents gave them everything, you know, you know, motherfucker like that gonna come and try to, speak ill of me or what I may have or don't have. And my problem was I reacted.
But
And
let
then
me tell you this: would they do that to your face though?
yeah, no, they didn't do that shit. In my face, they were
Exactly.
like, "Hey, Angel,"
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. The same people
yeah,
who act so hard on social media, once you see them in fucking real life, they don't say shit.
yeah. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true
man,
that
it's fucking crazy.
what was it? Mark Montfleur.
Yeah, yeah,
Montfleury. I
yeah.
always have a hard time saying his last name, Montfleury. I'm not sure how to probably pronounce it. But me and him were going at each other one time on social, right? And then we saw each other at Inspire Word. And I never took it personal, and I guess he didn't take it personal. And we went over and gave each other a pound, and we started talking. And while we were talking, we were like, I thought I was gonna have to fight you. I was like, yeah, me too, man. I thought we were gonna, we started laughing about it. He was like, yeah, I thought I was gonna have to fight you, man. I was like, I mean, I'm cool. He's like, I'm cool too, and we were laughing about it, but it was just dumb shit, man.
Yeah.
Just sometimes, I mean. I've never seen you do it, I've never seen you've been pretty good on that shit, but I've sometimes gotten carried away on social and stuff.
Yeah, I just laugh at people who try to argue with me. Because it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. Like, why am I arguing on a fucking app? Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, because we come from the era, like, even though you're older than me, like, I still come from the era, like, where I didn't grow up with social media. Like, a lot of kids today, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure your son, like, grew up
that's
with
all they know.
fucking
Yeah,
MySpace and Facebook and all that shit. But like us, like, we barely had shit. The beginning of it was fucking AOL chat rooms and shit like that.
yeah,
But even then I wasn't on it because I was too broke to fucking have a computer. So it's just crazy just seeing the evolution of like technology and like social media and just software in general. And it's just crazy how it's just that's part of us now, even though it's not supposed to be part of us.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
but we can
People
avoid
kill
all. Yeah, but we
people
can avoid.
kill themselves, man. Like some
Yeah,
young
bro.
people
Yeah.
have died, man. The shit is it blows my mind when I see it, man. Like I see these things and I'm like, damn, but you know,
Especially
it's
in schools and shit. Like kids get
yeah,
bullied,
man.
cyber bullied, and all that shit.
It's it be fucked up. I've seen some really fucking heartbreaking shit that like I some of that shit moves me to tears, man. When I see the stories, it's like, damn,
Yeah.
like that's fucked up, man. Why people
Yeah.
do that shit? But you get influenced by it, man. Like, oh, imagine, like, we're older, right? I'm 43, so I've gotten better,
Mm.
but if I were a kid, maybe I wouldn't. Like, I recognize now that it's all ego and pride.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
all ego and pride, and I recognize that. So whenever I'm feeling myself getting kind of like heated or, I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck are you doing? And I just start sending pictures of myself and, like maybe like in a pose or some dumb shit. And I start fucking with them. I start like you do gifs. I do pictures of myself in sexually provocative positions and shit.
Now that's hilarious.
And I just fuck with them. I seldom get into anything anymore. I try not to. I'll write my comment and then or my statement or whatever, and people go to war on my wall, and I'm just like, I don't even pay mind to it. I've had people ask me like, "Yo, you seen what's being written?" I'm like, I don't. Fuck. I stop following my own posts sometimes, because
Shit.
it gets like 100 comments deep. I'm like, fuck it, man. I don't care, man.
And you know what's funny? And then you got other people who fucking live like double lives. Like they act like their life is this way when it's really not. Like in their real fucking life, it's pretty fucking crazy. Like how social media is like a legit matrix, and it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors and illusions. That's how I see it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's one of the things a lot of people do. Like they promote themselves a certain way, or they promote a certain lifestyle and stuff. I keep it real, man. Like I do a lot of fitness stuff, but you'll see me post a picture of my fat ass without a shirt and saying, "Look, I'm fucking fat."
But
Maybe
you're doing it though. Like I seen you on your
yeah.
Zumba shit. You're fucking doing it. At least there's a lot of motherfuckers just sitting down on their fucking couch not doing shit, but hating and commenting like, "Oh man, why are you working out? I don't see no fucking results." But at least you're fucking doing it. Like what the fuck are you doing, asshole? Like you're just sitting on your fucking couch,
Yeah,
like
but how,
on Facebook.
Yeah, right. On your mother's house.
Exactly.
You know, how are you gonna get anywhere if you don't do the work? So, you know, and I show that shit just to show people the path, the journey,
Yeah.
you know, so that eventually I will get my six pack at whatever fucking middle age that I happen to be. And then I'll be able to say, look, it wasn't because what happens is if I would post pictures of myself when I'm ripped and shit, people
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
I'm born that way. That's what it is. I'm like, no, look, motherfucker, look at this fucking gut. Like 6 months ago, like, no, it's fucking fat. Like I bust my ass, you know, just to show people that they can do it too. Because
Exactly.
if they think that you're just, oh, that's just your genetics, you know, they'll never, you know, it doesn't help people. So I show the real thing, the pits and falls, you know, the failures, you know, I talk about the mindset of it. I do all that shit, man. Like I try to be as transparent as I can, you know,
You gotta be,
to
bro.
the, you know, as real and transparent to about everything, man.
No,
Like,
that goes for, yeah, that goes for anything. That's the same thing with like what I'm doing. Like, long as I stay consistent, like I know I'm gonna see results in the end, and I seen it before happen in my life. So I'm like, all right. For perfect example, like I remember when I got fucking kicked out my ex's place, and it's just like, but at the same day I got fucking a nationwide commercial air on TV, and I got mad checks, and I eventually fucking like moved and got my own place, and it's just I see and after that day, I was like, yo, if that can happen, anything else is fucking possible. And that's when I started like really getting to fucking heavy with the acting shit. And now my podcast, I'm seeing that shit grow. I'm like, long as you just stay consistent and manifest what you truly want in fucking life, it's gonna happen. Like you said, you want to fucking have a six pack eventually. As long as you stay consistent and believe that you will have that six pack, it's gonna fucking happen. And a lot of people, you know, always try to shoot that shit down. But
yeah,
do you know why? Is because they don't do it for themselves. So they want to take it out on somebody else just because their life is shitty and fucking sucks. They want to take it out on somebody else who they see is staying consistent and actually doing something with their fucking lives when it comes to just about anything.
true that. It has happened. I've had people tell me, why are you chasing that? Why are you
Yeah,
chasing that, Angel? That's not you. You're in your 40s, man. Fucking let it go. Accept it. You're fat. You're old. You're gonna die. People tell me that shit, and I'm like, I do not accept this shit. I do
exactly.
not accept it. No, I do not fucking accept it. And maybe I'll never reach it. Maybe, but you know what? I'm not gonna stop trying. You know,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna submit and just say, okay, I'm done. No, it's not gonna fucking happen. You know, and you know, I've had people, you know, people who I consider friends. You know, people who I consider friends, like not strangers or you know, people who you
Yeah.
value. You
But
know,
sometimes friends are your biggest haters.
truth, man. I saw that a couple. I saw somebody posted something maybe yesterday. As a matter of fact, they showed a picture of Tupac,
Mm.
and there was a woman there, and two other dudes. I don't remember none of their fucking names, but the woman was the one who accused him of raping her.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys was the guy who robbed him and
Yep.
shot him in a recording studio or something.
Yeah,
Right? I think
quads,
when he
yeah.
took the five, exactly, that's the spot. One of those guys was there, and the other guy was the one who set him up to get killed. So those three people were hanging out with him in the bedroom, sitting down in the bed, drinking and chilling. And it said sometimes your friends are the ones who are most dangerous to you.
Yeah,
So
man. That's why I don't really like I keep my circle very small. That's why I don't really hang out with a lot of people like that because it's just so much jealousy and envy for fucking no reason. Like
yeah,
it's and it kills me. And I always like read like different like successful like people's stories. They said the easiest way to become successful is teamwork. And it's just everybody's just so full of themselves and just full of ego. And that's another reason why I started the podcast too, because I want to like help people. I want them to share their story because at the end of the day, you're starting out, you're an inspiring whatever the fuck you're trying to be. You're aspiring, but nobody knows who the fuck you are. So that's why I made my podcast to break down of who they are, what's their story, and what they're gonna do for their legacy, for people to fucking believe in them. Like, why should I care about this person? So here's my podcast, here's who they are, listen to my podcast, they're sharing their story, and now since you know who they are, it's up to you if you want to invest in them or not.
right. Because
Yeah, man.
I mean, otherwise you wouldn't know about them. right? You're
Exactly.
creating you're exposing them to an entirely different world. Like what
Yeah.
we're doing right now, we're talking. I mean, our circle is pretty much similar,
Yeah. Yeah.
but there is a significant portion of people that you won't know from my side,
Exactly.
that are gonna see and hear, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Like you, it's a collaboration thing, instead of like, hey, I said, fuck, man, Keon's fucking doing this podcast shit every fucking week. I don't see it as a negative thing. I see it like good for fucking Keon. I like to see that shit. I listen to him. Now, granted, I am partial to the people that I know that you talk to, right? I will
Yeah.
always listen to those first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how it goes. You're gonna, I know Matos. Let me listen to these cats. Like the people you're always listening to first. But as you're listening, then you start to come across the new people, and you start to hear other people. But I didn't see it as a negative thing. I'm like, do your thing. But you know what? I need to stop being a lazy motherfucker and do my shit. I need to get on. So I don't see it as I'm competing or I'm trying to beat Keon, or I'm like, Keon's doing some shit that I had been doing. I'm not doing. What the fuck? Let me fucking get on my shit. And I tell you, man, even your format fucking inspired me, because I said, look at all these fucking people I know. Look at all these people on my social media, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, fucking politicians who one of them almost was a mayor, like fucking people
Yeah.
that I have access to. What the fuck are you doing, Angel? And I just started reaching out to them. I reached out
That's
to
all you
you,
gotta do. All you need is
yo,
an hour or an hour and a half of their time just to shoot the shit, and that's it. And then you got
yeah,
something. You got an episode.
that's right, man. And yeah, I always give credit where credit is due, And this iteration of my podcast was definitely inspired by you.
I
There's
truly
no.
appreciate that, man. That means a
Yo,
lot.
for real, man. I fucking deleted all the episodes. I started that shit from scratch. I renamed it, and the ones that I already had recorded, I edited. I cleaned them up. So sometimes we say shit here that when I'm going through listening, I'm like, oh, I can't post that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I chop them up and I clean them
Nah, I
up.
do the same. Yeah, I do the exact same.
Because we freestyling it, but
Yeah.
sometimes you hear back like, maybe I shouldn't talk about. Maybe like, sometimes I clean it up a little bit just because you know what I'm saying. You don't want to
Yeah, no.
cause no trouble.
Oh no,
But
trust me, bro. Because I have like a lot of guests that said some crazy shit, and normally my whole point of my podcast was like, I'm gonna keep this raw and uncut. But as soon as
yeah,
I start hearing people say like crazy shit, I'm like, oh no, I gotta edit this part out.
yeah.
So I feel
This
you on that, man.
some stuff you just can't post, man. My interview with LAV, I got 2 hours talking with that dude. I got a lot of shit to clean up there, man. Me and him
Oh no,
were
he's a crazy motherfucker, just like his song.
yeah, yeah, man. That conversation, I was like, as I was going through, I was like, oh my God, man, I am gonna have my work cut out for me on this one, man. There's a lot of editing that's gonna take me, and we went for a long time, so it was like 2 hours, and a lot of stuff to cut, man, like a lot of shit, you
Nah,
know.
he's an interesting dude though. Like I definitely got to get him on my podcast.
Yeah, man, the
So,
dude's mad interesting, man. He's just, you heard that song, Bad Motherfucker.
yeah,
The
bad motherfucker,
fucking
yeah.
listen to them lyrics, and I was like, holy shit, man. He just came out of nowhere with that shit. We're all sitting there just chilling, and this dude gets up, nobody knows who he is, just chilling, and he just starts. I don't even want to repeat the fucking lyrics, man. This is a fucking hard song, man. That shit is hard, but it is dope. It's a
Yeah.
fucking dope ass song. You know, this is
Oh
crazy,
man.
man. But like I was saying, man, I've been reaching out to people. I found that little app to schedule shit, and it's been working. But like one of the things I'm thinking about is maybe I should shift. I started initially weekly,
Mm.
but it's so hard for me to sit on it. Like I record it, I want to share it.
Yeah.
So I just as soon as I record them, I edit and I share them out. Right now I got like four episodes that need to be edited. And maybe 4 or 5 other ones from the past that need to be edited.
That's
Maybe
that's
doing
awesome.
maybe doing it weekly would be better, you know, because I wanted to originally do it Mondays, just drop
Yeah,
them on a Monday. But then I just, you know, I had like one episode and I was like, nah, I got too much shit. And I just started pumping them out. But I don't know. I got it. I got it. Most people seem to do it, you know, like weekly or twice a week. Um, you know,
yeah,
if I were good on the weekly shit, I could have the next 9 weeks,
yeah.
you know.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because when I first started doing my podcast, I literally recorded with. Let me see. I recorded with 12 guests, and like in the span of like 2 weeks to make sure I have enough
That's what's
episodes
up.
for three
Yeah.
months. Yeah, but like now, my formula is like, let me just because like I want to talk about like current events as well.
Right. Right.
So I
Right.
was like, let me record with like 3 guests in 1 week. This way I have almost a month's worth of guests for like the next following month.
Yeah. That's what's
So
up. Yeah. You
yes, no,
you do the editing yourself for your stuff?
yeah,
You
yeah,
sit and
yeah,
edit?
yeah, yeah. I do everything myself, bro.
Self-made, right?
Yeah,
No
hell
one
yeah,
can say
man.
otherwise, man. You know,
Yeah, no, I don't have to pay anybody. It feels great. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
music how I have to used to go to my recording engineer and just like, hey, mix this, fix that, put a little reverb, put a little delay here, like all that shit. Like, no, I just do everything myself, and that's the best part about podcasting. Like, you can just do everything yourself on one fucking app or whatever you use, and just fucking just record, send the link to a person who you're gonna interview, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
man.
is it's time consuming, man. The editing portion is very time consuming for me. Like I
Yeah, yeah, and also whoever's listening to this, if you want to be a future podcaster, make sure you have a sponsor.
mm,
That's very important.
to
So
like pay for
yeah, for
you say
monetizing, like for monetizing, for example. So you know how like with music streaming, you get less than a penny for like every stream. With
yeah.
podcasting, a lot of people don't know it's more. You get a penny for every stream for whoever plays it. So
Oh,
it's good for all future aspiring
yeah, yeah.
podcasters to know, like, hey, make sure you have a sponsor.
That's what's up, man. I
Yeah.
set it up. I set it up on Anchor too, um, but I haven't set up any sponsors because I didn't think I was getting enough, you know, enough traffic to be worth the, you know, the hassle, you know.
Nah,
But
bro, set it up, bro. I'm telling you, you will see results. As long as you stay consistent, trust me, you're gonna see it adding up. Trust me. Just trust me. I started this shit and I already see results. So just keep doing it, stay consistent. Just have Anchor sponsor your shit, and that's it. And just make sure, you know, follow the script or whatever Anchor says, you know, for you to promote them, and they'll
yeah,
pay you a penny for every stream. So fuck it, man. And then you never know who else is gonna hit you up for you to sponsor their shit. And that goes
oh,
for anybody who wants to start a podcast.
yeah, yeah. I remember they said, you know, do you want to start with your first sponsor? And I was like, ain't nobody listening to my shit, and I just ignored it. But I'm gonna check it out.
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna,
bro. That's
I'm
like
gonna
you could pay a bill. Like if you get fucking like over 2,500 like listens, that's almost like $25 right there, and you can pay like a fucking bill with that shit. Like
oh,
fuck it,
true.
every penny counts, man. I'm a
Yeah, yeah.
firm believer in that.
It does add up. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my music streams, that's like bill money. Like whatever I make from my music streams, I pay a bill off with that shit every month.
That's what's up. Well, because you always talk about that too, multiple streams of income.
Hell
That's
yeah, man.
something
It's
you
very
talk
important.
about.
Hell yeah, man. Oh,
You
I
said
remember.
actually you said it, those were your words, right? This pandemic should have taught you have multiple streams of income. I remember reading that.
Yeah, it's very important. It's definitely helped me a lot. So it's just like I always tell people, you don't need to be a fucking millionaire or make 6 figures a year. Just have like little shit on the side and just build your income up from wherever the fuck it is. Even if you're just making like $20 from it, it's still $20 and you can pay a fucking bill off. Like it's
Yeah.
very important to have multiple streams of income, and you need 7 to become a millionaire. So just get to work, people. Just find different ways and just like find different hustles, man. It's not hard. It's just people are just like so like afraid, and I feel like people just need to start taking more chances. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how old you are. Just fucking go, fucking do it.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. You how'd you end up getting into the acting thing? Because that shit, your thing was well, when I met you, I always knew you as a hip hop guy, right? Just a hip
Yeah,
hop guy. Then all of a sudden you just fucking jumped into acting and doing extra work and getting all these, these things, the SAG-AFTRA. That shit kind of came out of like, how did you just wake up one day and say, I want to try this shit, or was there a sequence of events?
No, yeah. So back to the Truth commercial. That's like was my first acting gig. So it's funny. I found that shit on like Craigslist, and I didn't take it serious. I was just like looking for random because at that time I was just performing on the subway with my boy Isaiah. Shout out to Isaiah, and we were just making. That was our literally only source of income at the time, and I was like, yo,
I remember that. I
yeah.
remember that.
So I was like, yo, I need to find other ways to fucking make money. So I found this Truth commercial shit. They were only gonna pay me like $280. So I was like, all right, fuck it, whatever. It's a 1-day shoot. I did it. A couple months later, I was going through the shit with my ex, about to get kicked out, and then they hit me up and they was like, hey, we're gonna get picked up nationwide, so we're gonna sign you in a SAG-AFTRA contract and just pay you residuals for a year. So I didn't take it serious. I was like, all right, whatever. Let me just sign this shit, whatever. And then that's when I started getting like residual income from the commercial every time it fucking airs. So like, oh shit. So after that, I started doing more research on fucking acting. And that's when I found like different acting gigs, like principal acting, stand-in acting, and background acting. So I try to dabble into all three. And I was like, let me like do more. And then eventually I started talking to more actors about it. And then they broke it down like, yo, you need to join SAG-AFTRA. And I was like, oh shit. So when I joined SAG-AFTRA, that's when I started really figuring out how this acting shit works. And I was like, oh shit. And that's when I started really seeing like good fucking money. Like, yo, I can just make a living off this shit. And it's just, mainly I did it, of course, for the hustle, but then my passion for it started to grow more. Like, because music was always my number one passion. But like, as soon as I started getting into the acting shit more, I was like, nah, this is going to get me places where I truly want to be. And I always tell people, like, find something that you love doing, because you're going to be miserable doing making somebody else money. So like acting has just been really beneficial for my life. I found more mad opportunities. I meet mad different fucking people. I met a bunch of famous fucking actors, and it's just like, and it helped me like network. And it's just, now I'm doing this podcast. Now I'm fucking interviewing actors I know who are established and shit. And I have like dope ass episodes coming with like actors I know who were on reality shows, or they did TV or film for Netflix or whatever. And it's just pretty cool. It's just a great place to network. It's a great place to make, basic good income, and just fuck it, man. Like, I just went for it, and I was like, now this is part of my life, and now it's who I am. I'm a fucking actor now. But, I never thought I would be a fucking actor. I was just used to fucking humping microphone stands on fucking open mics and shit. But like, nah, man, it opened the door, and it made me realize, like, man, there's so many ways you can fucking make money, and you don't need to work like a regular, like 9-to-5 job.
Right. That's what's up, man. I took this, I did it as a goof. I went to this workshop, this actors workshop, and the woman that ran it, she said, most actors are not going to be huge millionaire actors. There's going to be working actors. So people who are making a living, the same kind of living you make in your office job, doing small parts, but consistently. And so you're doing something you love, something you enjoy, you're in the field you love, and you're making a living. Not everyone is going to become that big fucking famous guy, but you could.
You could, man. Yeah, I seen it happen.
Everybody starts somewhere. Nobody just came in and started at the fucking,
Bro, let me tell you this. It's like on certain sets, like I seen like a regular background actor, like all the way in the back, and I seen the director go up to him like, hey, say this line. And as soon as he said that line, he made $900 that day. Now he's gonna make residual income for that film every time it airs for like the next year. And if it gets picked up again, like, depends on how successful that film is, he'll keep getting residual income for that film for just saying one little fucking line. And a lot of people don't know about that.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. People will think, oh, that guy's just doing extra shit. Nah, he ain't. But they don't realize people make a living.
Yeah, man.
They make a living.
Bro, and a lot of actors became successful just doing background shit. Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis, like they started doing just background, and eventually they got lucky. Someone like saw them like, hey, let me represent you. Let me be your agent. Let me get you like bigger roles. That's all it fucking takes. You never know who you might cross paths with on set. You never know if the director likes your look, likes how you talk. You just never fucking know. So that's the beautiful thing about this industry. Overnight, you can just become an overnight success. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, that shit can happen, and that's the thing, it's not like, I'm in IT, right? I do IT work and I
Yeah.
do, like Zumba classes and shit. I'm not gonna fucking become a superstar IT guy in the the big world, because the shit doesn't exist. But the chance of somebody doing like you said, you're in this like even that role where you were standing, right? You're standing, there's a drive-by thing, you handing the guy the dough, somebody could see that and say, yo, that's Johnny Lawrence in this
Yeah,
fucking,
exactly.
that's Johnny Lawrence. Get that guy. Yo, that's all it takes.
It truly
And
does,
all of a
man.
sudden your whole fucking life could change, So these are, high risk, high reward industries, you know?
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
yeah, I think that's the way to look at it. Like, I'm in a safe, low risk, really no major reward, just a steady life, I kind of just, I don't want to say I gave up, but I always was doing that. Even when I was doing music and when I was doing, whatever else I was doing, I always had a job, like a job, a career to be safe, right? Then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
dudes like you who just went all in, high risk, high reward. Maybe there's no calls for a month, but then you get that one call, all of a sudden your fucking world changes, So it's all, well, you said that also earlier, and during this talk, you said the risk. Some people don't want to take risks,
Yeah,
it's that,
yeah.
it's that fear factor. And, but I mean, you got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Which is understandable for people who do fear it, because a lot of people do have families, they have kids to take care of, which is totally understandable. But for me, in my case, it's just I always been like that since high school. Like, especially when I dropped out of high school, I was like, all right, I dropped out. What the fuck am I gonna do next? Like, I'm not just gonna be a fucking failure. That was just always in my head. I'm not gonna be a fucking failure. I'm gonna like bust my ass and do whatever it takes for me to get to wherever I want to be. And just my ultimate goal, yeah, I want to be a billionaire, but my ultimate goal is just to be financially free, not worry about a fucking thing, and lay on the fucking grass and delete all my social media. That's my ultimate goal in life, and just be with a beautiful woman, and that's it.
In Japan, right? That's
Or maybe Vegas. I don't know. I started looking because I went to Vegas for my birthday, and it was just Vegas is just so fucking dope. And I was just looking at houses out there. I was like, wow, it's very fucking affordable. I can have a pool. The weather is always nice. So I was like, hey, maybe Vegas. I don't know, but like, who see? As long as I'm laying on some type of fucking grass or sand or wherever the
Well,
fuck,
you picked the
I'm
fucking
happy.
desert, man. You're gonna have to import that shit. You
Nah,
gotta
fuck it, man.
import the
The,
grass.
the desert, the desert's dope. Fuck it. I'll lay on the desert sand. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm very minimalistic. Like, I don't care about buying like fancy shit and all that. The only thing I want, like, once I reach a certain like tax bracket, I just want a personal driver to just drive me around. But other than that, I don't. And a private jet too, like, because I love
Not
traveling.
much. Not
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
Low
I don't
man.
need. Yeah, I don't need fancy clothes or all that bullshit like people need to just show off. Like, I'm cool with
Yeah, I'd
just
be
have
happy with a chef.
that too. Actually, no, I don't need a chef. I like to cook.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy with a talented chef that can make healthy meals for me throughout the day. So like every one of my meals could be something different, something amazing, and something fucking delicious.
Yeah,
I'm happy. If I could reach a level where I can afford to do that, I'll be happy. That and like a gym, you know,
oh yeah, yeah.
you
That's
know.
another thing I want is a personal trainer and just get my teeth fixed too. That's it.
I'm working on that shit right now. I mean, look at this shit. I got the Invisalign.
Oh, the Invisalign. Yeah, I got to get into that shit.
That shit set me back six
Did
G's, man. I'll be
did
paying for that shit for a while.
did you do Did you do it from Smile Direct Club or somebody else, or just
Nah,
Invisalign?
I didn't trust that shit, man. I went to a proper dentist, and did it through them. That Smile Direct Club, I was looking at it, but I read enough horror stories about it that it just made me anxious. You know, I just feel better, more comfortable with like my actual dentist looking at it, monitoring it. Um, and they're getting there, man. They're almost, almost straight. I've never
Oh
had
man.
straight teeth in my life, and I never know what it felt to be able to close your mouth
Oh
because the
wow.
teeth were always like this, like
Yeah.
block, like they never got, So even now, I still can't close it. Like I can't close it yet, but I look forward to, hopefully I don't die from this COVID shit or some other shit, and I can actually finish this treatment and see what it feels like to close my mouth, to like just be able to close
Oh
my
man.
mouth and feel the teeth fall into each other. I never felt that in my life.
That's crazy. And oh, speaking of the COVID shit though, when do you think this shit is gonna go away? I say in the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like it's got to run its course. And
Yeah.
I think the year sounds right. They're talking about a vaccine as early as next year. I don't trust the vaccine,
Me
you
neither
know,
do I.
you know. I feel like they're saying no shortcuts have been taken, and I'm like, I've watched the vaccine process in documentaries over the years, and this is not some shit you do overnight. So I don't know, man. You know, um, I didn't have it. I checked for the antibodies. I never got the antibodies.
Same.
Um, yeah, my mom and my sister got it. They didn't even know they had that shit. They were
Damn.
sick, but they went to the hospital, but they sent them home. Actually, I think it's a blessing they sent them home because if they would have kept them, maybe it get worse. They intubate them, and most people don't come back from that once you get the ventilator. So
Yeah.
the fact that they sent them home, oh, it's just the flu. That's what they told my mom. She had the flu, and it was fucking COVID, man. And thank
Oh
God,
shit.
thank God she's okay. And my sister too, is my sister has asthma. So yeah,
Did
go
she?
ahead.
No, I was gonna ask. Did she find out? Because when they told her she had the flu, did she find out from the antibody test, or like did?
Yeah, just like
Oh
a week
shit.
ago.
Oh man, that's fucking crazy.
Word,
So
man.
people like so yeah. And then, when did she get like the flu? Like when did the doctors tell her?
March, April.
Oh, so it was like the beginning before they
Yeah,
had like the COVID test. Oh shit. So a lot of people got the flu, probably had COVID shit in the beginning of the year.
yeah, yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Oh
I'm
man.
glad. I'm glad they went home though, and I'm glad. I mean, my mom has she's had cancer in the past. She's high blood pressure. She's
Yeah.
diabetes. Like my mom has every fucking comorbidity out there to make her high risk. And thank God my mom's a warrior, bro. My mom, she lost
No.
she lost a lot of friends, man, due to this shit. So this shit is real, man. I
Yeah,
I
man.
I feel like it's just got to run its course. You know what I mean? Like it's got to get through whoever it's going to get through. My son, everybody in his mom's house had it. He didn't get it. So I don't know
Oh
how this
shit.
shit works. COVID is fucking weird, man.
It is definitely weird. Oh man. How you feel about the anti-maskers?
you know, I wear the mask and I wear it because I feel like it's a social obligation, but I don't feel protected by wearing it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If I haven't got COVID, it's because either I'm physically just not a good candidate for it to enter my body, or I haven't come across somebody who has it. Because when I
Okay.
wear the mask, I'm fucking touching my face. I'm going like this, scratching underneath the mask. Sometimes, my fucking hair gets in there and I'm reaching to pull the hair out. So I don't feel like it's making me safe. Maybe somebody else wearing it protected me from getting it.
Mm-hmm.
By them wearing it. I don't know. I'm going to the gym. I go to the gym with my son. I'm teaching my Zumba classes again. I've taught him indoors, and you know, it, I'm fucking surprised I haven't got that shit. Like so I kind of feel like whoever's gonna get it is just gonna get it. It's gonna run its course, and some of us are gonna live, and some of us are not gonna live. Some of us are not even gonna be phased by it. I can't, I don't know anything else, you know, like I don't know what, you know, I don't know about the reinfection. Some say that you could get reinfected. So you had it, but you can get it again,
Shit, man.
which is fucking nuts. So what, we're going to just go through this dance until everybody's fucking dead? Like,
It's fucking crazy, man. It's so fucking crazy.
yeah, this is wild, man. I mean, I'd love for them to put out a proper vaccine, you know, but I want to make sure the shit is safe, you know. And the vaccine is like the flu vaccine. You get the flu vaccine and you'll still get the flu.
Yeah,
It's not a, you know.
I never took the flu vaccine in my life. I don't trust that shit.
Yeah, man, I've had it, you know, like alternate years and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't walk around thinking that I'm immune or I'm safe, you know. You know, like and the same thing with the mask. The anti-maskers, I kind of think it comes down to politics.
Yeah.
If you look at their politics, it's always, more often than not, it's right wingers, and
Yeah.
the mask people are left wingers. So man, it's all such bullshit, bro. You know, like, I mean, I'd be remiss if I don't mention the Breonna Taylor verdict. Look at this shit. They
Yes,
didn't
yeah.
they didn't even charge the guy
I'm
for
disgusted
anything
by that
related
shit.
to her. Fucking crazy. But it all, again, it's the same shit. People are gonna divide it down the political lines. Everything. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she passed away, right? Again, down party lines. Every fucking thing is always down party lines, where you can't
Mm,
just say, hey, listen, this shit ain't about politics, it's about safety.
exactly.
Just wear the fucking mask. It's not, they're not trying to control you. And the other thing is, you know, I'm not trusting enough of the Democrats to think to myself, they have 100% truthfulness and our best interest.
Nah, they full of shit too
You know,
sometimes. Yeah.
I don't, you know, yeah. So it's like, you don't know what the fuck the truth is.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fucking truth is. And it always drives me crazy that maybe 20 years from now, they'll be like, you guys
Yeah.
remember that 9/11 thing? It was us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Like I'm always thinking about shit, because the Vietnam War, we got pulled into that shit. Some years later, Tompkins incident, it kind of was, was made up or whatever, shit that it's fucked up, and a lot of lives get lost.
Yeah. And
You know?
unfortunately, we're living in like a cold civil war right now in America. That's how I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we are so close to it. It's little incidents that are happening, and any of them could be the one that history will look back and say, Breonna Taylor was the nail in the coffin where the country imploded and hit the fan. You know,
Yeah.
any incident, because these are fucked up things that are happening, man. And I'm not anti-police, man. I have never been anti-cop. You know, I have family who are cops. I have friends who are cops. You know, I've had bad experiences with cops in my life. I've had some encounters, but I look like a white guy, right? So, be real. A lot of the times, I don't walk the street fearing them. You know,
Mm.
I don't walk the street thinking they're gonna fuck with me. They generally don't fuck with me. Growing up, I grew up in the ghetto, right? I was in the hood. I was among
Same.
the hood. So there you're gonna get targeted because you're in there. You're in that mix, right? But then once I got an adult and I moved out on my own and I walk around like, oh guys, I'm Angel. No, they don't bother me, But I still call them out on the wrong. So if something is wrong, I call them out on it. And if something is not wrong, if let's say I go out or you go out and we go rob a fucking store and we got a gun and we're robbing someone, we get shot. You fucking brought that on yourself.
Mm.
You brought that on yourself. You were fucking in the process of committing a burglary with a gun. Hey, listen, if you shoot at that cop, they shoot you, they kill you. You know what? I'm okay with that. I get that. I'm not
But
gonna
in it,
say that.
yeah. But innocent people though, man, is just completely wrong.
No,
And,
like George,
yeah,
George Floyd, that was fucking ridiculous. The guy was already subdued. You got to speak on that. You got to be able to call out your own people, yourself and your own people when you do dumb shit. And you got to be able to call them out when they do dumb shit. But people don't do that.
yeah.
It's straight down the fucking straight down the middle every fucking time, man. It drives me crazy. It drives me
Yeah,
crazy.
and what's even sadder, we're doing all this, like the cops are just doing all this bullshit during, like, well, the bad cops, they're doing all this bullshit during the pandemic. Like, this is the time we need to really all come together, but we're just being more divided more than ever, and it's just sad, and it shouldn't be this way.
Yeah, this shit is wild, man. Like we're living in some crazy times, man. There's
Yeah,
no doubt
bro.
about that. We're 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 gonna historic someday, and they're gonna talk about this time, and they're gonna be like, look at those savages.
Yeah.
They killed each other, and they couldn't get along, and it's like the Roman Empire, man. I look back at the Roman Empire, and we're doing the same shit, and we're
We
not
are.
even we're nowhere near as old as they were. I don't know if we make it as long as the Roman Empire did. You know?
But like they always say, history repeats itself.
Yeah, man. It's wild, man. Times are crazy, man. This whole COVID thing has put everyone into a space that we've never seen in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
You know,
But I'm a firm believer in balance. I feel like all the bad shit that's been going on this year, I feel like next year is going to be a better year. I'm just a firm believer in just balance.
from your mouth to God's ears, bro, because we
Yeah.
need a break. you know.
We do, man. I just want to chill. Like, shit. I don't want to hear no bullshit on the news, man. I'm just tired of everything. Like, it's sad. It's crazy. And I just, I do believe the world's going to be in a better place eventually. It's just us as human beings to just make sure it goes in the right direction. Because we also have to worry about climate change too. That's another shit we have to worry about. Look at the shit that's going on in California. And
Yeah.
I remember when I was in fucking Colorado, in
Yo, how
August.
was that, man? You said you love that shit, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
you.
that place was beautiful. But even there though, like you could see the sun, it was just blood orange. And I was like, yo, the
Oh,
sun is not supposed to be like that. And then, normally they just get like small forest fires, but they were saying the smoke from California travels all the way to Colorado, which is
wow.
crazy. And we gotta take climate change serious. Everybody needs to
Yeah.
start watching that Al Gore documentary.
Yeah, people, we and guess what happens with climate change? Fucking division based on
Yeah,
party lines. The same all the time, all the time. That's always the issue. People just can't be objective.
yeah.
You know?
Same thing with gun control. I'm cool with gun control. Yeah, we have the right to carry a fucking licensed gun or whatever weapon we choose to have to protect our loved ones. But it's just they just have to just do it a better way. I'm not saying stop gun control, but let's just fucking check in on the person who carries a licensed gun to make sure they're not a fucking
Yeah.
psychopath who just wants to kill everybody. We just have to find the right balance to make everybody, both sides, happy. And it's not a hard thing to do. Just people are just fucking stubborn and on both sides, Republicans and
All right.
Democrats.
Yeah. Well, one side says get rid of the guns, the other side says over my dead body. You
Yeah.
know, I'm a Democrat and I own guns. I own guns legally, of course, right?
Yeah.
I support gun control and I own guns. If I were fucking a threat to anyone, if I were a danger, I shouldn't be having guns. If I were an imbalanced person, I mean, I'm not talking, like we all get angry and we all get a little emotional sometimes, but if I were a danger, I shouldn't have guns. You know,
Yeah.
I had to go through a heavy screening to be able to get those things. And it took me like a year to be able to get my guns. Now I can understand how a guy who grew up at 3 years old, he had a gun in his hands. He's not gonna want to hear that. But we could
Yeah.
compromise. You can't go. It's just not gonna happen in this country. And here's the bottom line, man. Who's got the guns? They do.
Shit.
They do. So what? How are you gonna take it from them?
Yep.
The cops? No, the cops are. A lot of them are gonna be on their side.
Yeah.
So how do you do this shit? You can't. And that's the problem with the left. They're like, we're gonna take the guns with what? With your signs? No, those motherfuckers got the guns. So how are you gonna take it from them? How you gonna do it? We got guns too. Not like them, dude. I was in West
Yeah.
Virginia, and when I was in West Virginia, these guys had helicopters. They took me up in helicopters. This is during my right wing period. I had a right wing period, and I went to a rally out there to talk, and I was speaking at this event, and they took me up in helicopters, and we were shooting from the helicopters.
Damn, that's fire.
Yeah, it was a fuck. I had a blast, man. I had a blast. But the point of that is that the people on the left are not prepared for that.
They're
If it were
not.
a civil war situation, it's gonna be a damn massacre, bro.
Oh yeah.
It is
Oh
gonna be a
yeah.
massacre. That's why I always tell people, listen, if you value your protection and your right, go get your fucking guns.
Yeah.
Cut this anti-gun shit. Get guns now, not for any nefarious purposes, but to protect your home, your family. Because okay, you want to defund the police? Okay, now we got no cops. What do you think? What do you think happens next?
We need fucking guns. Exactly.
It's gonna be chaos,
Yeah.
chaos and
That's true.
anarchy. Because listen, man. Let's be honest, right? You think that in New York City, this city would stay calm and safe if there was no police? Or
But with the defunding the police, it's not like
no, I know that.
taking.
I know.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no.
not taking all their money. It's just
I'm talking about the people who want to get rid of the cops. I'm talking. There are people who want to see police gone. The defund, I get it. Defund is redirecting the money to education,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
slashing the budget. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there are people that legit want to abolish, and maybe I used the wrong word, abolish the police.
That's unrealistic.
We
I
need.
don't, yeah.
Do you think that me, you, our neighbors, the guys up the block, everybody can live happily and in peace if there's no police or somehow consequences, to criminal behavior? I don't think we're good enough people. Maybe I'm a pessimist, but I don't think that humanity is good enough to live unpoliced.
It's like I don't think it's gonna happen in our generation, but I feel like
Mm.
eventually we'll get to a generation of peace where we don't need police. I feel like it'll be more community based. Like whoever's in charge of the community can handle like if like some stupid shit goes wrong. But I feel like I said, in our generation, we need what the fuck we need because we're just used to the society we live in today. But eventually, like generations from now, I feel like we will get to a point where we don't need police and shit like bullshit like that. But right now, realistically, yes, we do need police, because there are still a lot of fucking crazy, stupid motherfuckers out there, unfortunately. But like once we do reach a certain point where everyone in humanity has common sense, they're not
Values life.
values
Yeah.
life, have morals and all that. I feel like it's a possibility we can reach to that point. But for now, we just gotta be realistic with shit. So like, yes, we still need the police, but they don't need all that fucking money. That can go to after school programs and the community.
And they do a
So
lot of jobs. They do jobs that they don't need to be doing. They're
yeah,
given, they're being sent to situations that they don't necessarily need to be the ones that are involved in that, where, that it could be better suited by other people. I'm
yeah.
not saying send a social worker to a shootout. That'll be fucking stupid. You send a social worker to go address a shootout. You send the cops in that type of a situation. But maybe, you got a mentally ill person that's being reported on the train, or maybe they're having an argument with somebody. You don't need the big guns for that. You could send
No,
somebody to talk, and
yeah,
maybe,
exactly. And that's another thing we have to like fucking like fix is homelessness and
no
just.
doubt.
Yeah, and not only just homelessness, like I just see like handicapped, disabled people in the street. Like there's no need for them to be in the street. They should have like an aid. So like, they should be sheltered, number one. Like I shouldn't have to see someone who's handicapped and disabled in a wheelchair, homeless outside in the street, which boggles my mind. I feel like we need to fix that. We need to fix anybody who's in the street homeless, period. And it's just we have enough space in New York City, not only New York City, the entire country, to like just build better shelters and not like the shelter system that it was before. Luckily, because of the pandemic, all of these homeless people that were in shelters are now in these hotels. But like after this pandemic is over, what are we gonna do next? What is the next step we're gonna take to help all these homeless people that are out in the street right now? And I feel like we have enough room to build better shelters and not an upscale person. Because to me, the old shelter system, and I knew people who were in shelters, they were just in like prison. There's just nothing but cops. They have a fucking curfew. They can barely go out. And it's just, I feel like we just need to build a better structured shelter system and have more like therapists.
I would do one step further and say, just house them. Forget
just
the
house
whole,
them.
we have enough empty apartments. I saw a study in New York City that there are enough vacant apartments where we can help people, you know, and I get it. People don't want to spend money and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're helping society become a better society. Yeah. Maybe one day we could reach that utopia where we don't need the police, you know.
Or just tax all these fucking rich people. Like, once I'm rich, if you want to tax me to help fucking people, I don't give a fuck. Take my money. Like, I'm not gonna use all my billions of dollars just for fucking me. If you want to tax me and just take my billions of dollars to fucking help people, fuck it, man. It's just, you know, what the fuck are you gonna lose? Like, Jeff Bezos didn't have to pay no fucking taxes last year.
Yeah, that whole thing is fucking crazy. Like, that shit is weird, man. Like, I don't understand. The argument is always that if they tax them, they'll leave the city or they'll leave the country, or, you know, there's always these are the arguments that people will make. Hey, if you tax them, they'll just leave. So there's got to be a way to balance it in the way to fix it. And I don't know that way. I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know what we do.
I say abolish IRS and start a whole new shit when it comes to the tax system.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There was some shit that says the whole IRS shit is illegal, and, you know, there's a whole group of thought that don't pay taxes. But the thing is, you know,
pay taxes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't pay taxes, you're gonna get locked up. You know, I mean, isn't that how they took out Al Capone? Was it?
Yeah.
Through fare evasion, tax evasion or some shit.
Nah.
Yeah, I think.
Pay your taxes, people. I pay my taxes every year. I don't want no beef with the IRS, but I still think we should abolish them and start a whole new tax system. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I don't pay taxes. I pay taxes.
Yeah. We may not like it, but we do it.
We do it anyway.
Man, that's crazy, man. Yo, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, bro.
Yo, bro, same, man. I enjoyed this a lot, man.
It's been a minute since we I mean, I haven't seen you since Inspired Word. I mean, I see you all the time on social, but we haven't.
You saw me when I was like a young 20-year-old kid.
How old are you now?
I'm be 29 in December, bro. It's crazy.
Oh shit, man.
Time flies, man.
Yeah, fucking A, man. Shit. I thought you were maybe 25, so
I wish.
The years are flying, bro. Shit.
Yeah, man.
My son's 20, so I thought you were closer to his age, but you're a generation ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm almost entering your club.
Closing in, man. Yo, tell people, tell them how they can find you on the social media you still use until you hire someone to do it for you in the future. The podcast and,
All right. Sweet. I got you, man. So, yeah, you can find me at Keon Torres 2020 on Instagram. You can find me at Keon Torres on Twitter, Keon Torres on Facebook, Kush Chat Podcast every Thursday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and also my music. You can look me up on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you buy or stream music. Keon Torres, KeonTorres. Check it out, people.
Super easy to remember, y'all.
Yes, sir.
You are listening to the NYC Talking podcast. www.nyctalking.com. Please like NYC Talking on Facebook. Please follow Angel R Talk on Twitter and Instagram. We are NYC Talking, the realest lifestyle blog ever. Thanks for listening.